What up, fam? It's your girl Katie and
Xenon
and
REL.
and we have got someone that has not seen Hyen. So she's like me. So I am super excited to show someone that hasn't seen it. You guys know what's gonna happen. Hopefully we'll get another Renegade. But anyway, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to start it. Because you're really not supposed to know anything about it before. So we're just gonna start. Hope you guys are doing okay. If you're coming by, do a like, comment, share, subscribe if you like hanging out with us. We have a lot of fun. I obviously came into reacting late. My channel's only been up for like a month, so I am getting people in that I can react to some of these because a lot of my family has already seen everything REN. So we're having to get creative. So we got somebody that hasn't seen Hyen, so let's fucking go. Oh, you go. Sorry, fam, our space bar still sucks.
What the fuck?
I know. I don't know what the...
Wait, what?
Oh, alright, let's go.
Hi there, Ren. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ren, on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately, and I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect, you're always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate. This time is different, man, trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place. And my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great. And when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one, so you see. You gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Wow, your Grammys, Ren? Nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with the subconscious. Eminem did it. Played on guitar. Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath it. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking god complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it. Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus. Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren. Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside. Newsflash, I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason. Beheading all kings, I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mustopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender when standing in front of my solar eclipse. My name is stitched to your lips, so you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal. Feeble and normal, you wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of end. I am you, you are me, I am you, Ren. Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So cower at the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs. That I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that me to be strong. And when I am gone I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climate different side. When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas, that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax. And I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
So what'd you think?
She's processing.
You look like me after the first time I saw it. I was just like, wow. I just kept saying, wow.
You know, I'll give her time to like get her thoughts together. I have some thoughts on this actually.
Yes, please.
Because I don't think I reacted to this song specifically on this channel. I've heard it before, but not like in a reaction. So I think that, I mean, I'm not a big fan of acoustic guitar, right? Like, as far as the instrumental, that's not really the part I pay attention to, but I really like the vocals and I really like the lyricism in this song. It's really meaningful, and for me, right, like, I have OCD, right? And that eternal battle, that struggle that he talked about and how he was kind of like showing both sides, that's something that I live with every day, right? I have something called moral OCD, right? So I like every single day question if I'm a bad person, if I'm immoral, if I'm like hurting others. So like for me, it's a constant battle. And his way out of it is music, right? My way out of it is philosophy, actually. Totally different thing. But it's really interesting to illustrate that eternal struggle, that dance. And to say that it's human beings too, I think it's accurate, right? Because if we're looking at things through like a religious context or whatever, or metaphorical, demons are always like evil and like they're always like just that one side of Ren that's always criticizing, always poking, you know. And then obviously the angels would just be him like being on his best, you know. And like with gods, they're able to not have either of those conflicts. Right. And so human beings, we are really in this special position where we are really like in an interlocked struggle. I mean, I know that my struggle is probably worse than others, right? But, or I wouldn't say worse, but it's different. But I think that human beings essentially, no matter how good your life is, something always has to happen, right? If the light is so bright, it does cast even the bigger shadow. Yeah. So I think that it's actually a really good illustration of not just mental health, but human beings, like, in of themselves. Like, I study political science and stuff, right? And even from a political perspective, like, I think it's really true. There's a lot of good and dark things at the same time, and it's always a constant battle between the two. And it's not even down to ideology. Sometimes it's just the people who perpetuate things, right? There's corruption, there's violence, there's all these other things. And I think that Ren is really meaningful, because the fact that I'm able to interpret this in like 3 different ways, and this is just like off the top of my head, and I'm sure you could do even more, it just shows how meaningful Ren can be. And as far as the vocals outside the lyricism, I think that like it was really beautiful because I felt like the vocals were matching really well with the guitar. Like obviously it has to match together. But like every high part of his voice went along with a high note. Like his inflection matched really well with the notes. And that's not necessarily like the easiest thing to do. So I think that's impressive. Even if it's not like my particular style as far as like the vibe, I guess. But I do appreciate the work that went into that. Oh, and one last thing. This is a quick thing. I've never seen really in a music video where like someone just starts talking and like just puts the guitar down, and like as he put it down, he didn't even unplug it yet, and you could hear like the sound of some of the strings accidentally being hit. And I think that adds like sort of a realism. He didn't want his video to be perfect. He actually had kind of sloppiness on it, but it seems professional, and I just find that interesting. I haven't really seen anybody do that.
The reason why you can hear it, I don't know if you noticed, but on his hospital gown, he's got like a little mic. It's because it was live.
Oh,
it was a live performance, and
nice.
also done in one take. So yeah, that, and if you watch the behind the scenes stuff, it was pretty crazy what they went through trying to make it. It almost didn't happen. But yeah, myself have an OCD, the intrusive thoughts, bipolar. I related to this the first time I heard it. It just felt like my internal struggle. Like trying to lead your life, either thinking you're basically the shit at it, like you're handling your shit, you're really good, and then also that other side of you that's like, no, you're not. Like you're not shit.
Yeah.
And that's very, very true for me. Like if I try to feel like I'm doing something well, like he said, your fucking god complex leaks out of you. That's exactly how I feel. If I say anything good at all about anything I'm doing, I have that other side that's like, don't talk shit. No, you're not.
Yeah.
I always have that
Yeah.
struggle internally, always.
Yeah, and I think that eternal struggle, by the way, is true for everybody. Like, with OCD, it's amplified.
Yeah.
But OCD, the way I look at it, is, like, I call it the self-doubt disease. Like, I feel like it's basically just self-doubt in multiple different forms, and it's just amplified. I think everybody goes through, like, minor forms of OCD, but it's not really OCD because it's minor. It's not as frequent. But I feel like everybody has self-doubt at some point in their lives, and if you can feel that, you can relate to the song. You don't even have a disorder. You can just be a human being.
Mm-hmm.
We might feel it harder because we go through it on a daily basis and like so frequently. But
the part that really stood out to me was like, you have to kill you if you want to kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
yeah,
that one. I'm bipolar. And I don't know. I just, a lot of times I feel like there are parts of myself I just want to like pick up and put in the trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah.
No,
No.
I feel that it's this. The first time I saw it, I actually cried because I was like, oh my god, like somebody, you know how you find an artist and you're like, they're fucking talking to me.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just how it was. Actually all of his music is that for me now. But you know that this is, I love seeing people react to this one just because whenever he first starts, ooh, everybody's like, what is this? Like, what are you having me do? And then whenever he does it, by the time it gets to the end and he does it the second time, you're like, yeah. Like, you know, but
I like the format of it. Like, I listen to a lot of like Law Dispute, just a lot of like spoken word kind of Midwest emo vibe.
Yeah.
And it like kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, this one was very different, but he
does a lot.
He's a sick rapper.
Yeah.
His voice obviously really good. Always does these, not always, but most of the time does like live one take. Like it's impressive what he does. He does a lot of different things. A lot of he's genreless. You can't put him in a genre. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, he's very experimental. And that, you know, that's something that you don't see from a lot of artists these days, and it's something I do appreciate. I mean, I also like consistency, but people who do go outside the boundary and kind of color outside the lines, I really like.
I love that for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's come a long way in his life, and it's like inspiring to see for me, and you know. And I think the fact that we all related to it, you know, like, and I mean, we're all kind of neurodivergent, but like neurotypical people can relate to this too. And, and I think that's what's so beautiful about music, right? And not mainstream music as much. I mean, I'm a little harsh against mainstream music. But I think that a lot of underground music now is very focused on the internal. And I was actually going to mention this earlier in the Nas reaction, actually. But like a lot of underground music, whether it's rap or any other genre, I feel like underground music, especially during like the 80s and the 90s, it was more focused on your external environment. It was like, oh, like, you know, the cops are brutalizing us, or I don't have enough money to put food on my table,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that.
I
Um,
I love art as a form of like bringing out what's inside because I have a really hard time articulating myself.
Mm.
Like my brain works in pictures, but I'm an artist. So literally I'll just like plop what's in my head like on a canvas, and it's like a way of like translating myself and like how I feel, and like you can see it because I can't communicate it in a different way.
Yep. That's how I am with music. I'm definitely not an artist. I can't even draw stick figures. But for me, a lot of times, and you know this, I will show you guys songs and be like, "That's how I feel
yeah.
about this," because yeah, I'm the same way. It's very hard for me to communicate how I'm feeling, and I'm just like that right there.
Yeah, and for me, and I think it's a bit different for me, right? Because I consider myself to be a pretty articulate person, and I am good at communication. But I think that that actually is a curse, because when it comes to emotions specifically, I've been known to like intellectualize my emotions. So like because I'm so articulate, and sometimes I use like big words and stuff. I kind of dodge my own emotions by like trying to turn it into like an academic thing. So music is a way of being able to express what I feel rather than having to explain it, because when I explain it, it kind of takes away the feeling, because it's like I'm distancing myself from it.
I think we're opposites in that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Like definitely.
Yeah, no.
I'm very not articulate. Like I'm having a hard time talking this entire time.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry.
You were like,
This
"Oh,
this
what did
channel
you
is
think?"
used to
I was
that.
like,
You're like, yeah, it's yeah. No, this channel is very used to me being like blah, and not knowing what to say.
Yeah.
A lot of times after videos, I'll be like, "That was so good," and that's all I can say. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I know it deserves me, saying a better reply or response
the
or
video like made me feel heavy.
yeah.
Yeah.
He does have very very heavy
It makes you feel happy?
topics.
That's really interesting, because I actually felt the opposite. Like I felt like my chest lift up.
You mean because you're related, or
I don't
'cause
know
it's
if it's
not like a happy?
I don't, well, no, it's not happy. But I'm like saying like the physical feeling. Like mentally it was heavy, but physically it was actually like sort of uplifting, because the vocals just kind of reminded me of like a rebellion against his own struggle, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like it
Well, and
seems
he
like,
gets up at the end, like stands up, and
yeah.
so it's kind of like a triumph, even though he said it wasn't a battle for him to win.
Yeah.
It's more like a battle for him to learn about or something. So that,
Yeah. No, and I think that's why felt kind of like uplifted,
Mhm.
because it's like sometimes it's not about winning anything, right? Sometimes it's just about not losing, but like submitting to it and just kind of getting used to that being in your head and learning how to flow with it and let it be a part of life, maybe even make it useful, right? Something I talk about a lot is I feel like neurodivergencies can be used as like abilities.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like for people with bipolar and schizophrenia, for example, studies have shown that they are more creative and artistic on average than people, who are neurotypical. And studies have shown that people who are autistic, which I am, studies have shown that people who have autism can be better with numbers and spatial reasoning and patterns and stuff. Which I'm a big science person as well, because I'm also majoring in neuroscience and stuff like that. You have to take, your symptoms and try to utilize them for good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some symptoms that just can't be utilized for good, and those are things that you have to manage. But this idea that you have to kill that thing inside of you is kind of the problem. It's more like you have to figure out how to make that side of you flourish and to let that side of you be heard. Because that aggressive part of REN can be useful, because there is times where REN could be kind of grandiose or maybe even narcissistic about himself, and that voice could reel him back. Not in the capacity it is currently, but he could use that as a way to bring himself down when he needs to be put down a little bit, right? I mean, I think we all need humility, right? That could just be humility, and he could utilize it a different way.
Right.
It's not easy, by the way. It's easier said than done, for sure. But I think it's a skill in anybody's life, you know, that could be really useful, is to figure out how to use your flaws and actually turn them into benefits.
Yeah. No, that's 100%. Just like in therapy, you know how you're supposed to sit with your feelings.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to challenge them as far as, you know, you can challenge your thoughts for sure, and you're supposed to. You know, that self-doubt, you challenge it, you know,
Yeah.
like, okay, what's the evidence of this, you know?
Yeah.
But for oh my god, I just totally forgot what I was saying.
On that note, just like she forgot
I'm tired.
Look, she forgot what she said, but you don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, okay?
Anyway,
You don't want to forget that.
yeah, thank you. Love you guys. I know that this can be a kind of a heavy song.
Yeah.
Well, it is a heavy song. But oh, I remember what I was trying to say earlier. Better late than never. No, just that there's certain thoughts that you are supposed to challenge, yes, but there's also thoughts and feelings and emotions that you're not really supposed to challenge. You're supposed to sit with them, and that helps you figure out how to manage it. You know, through meditation, these things that I, you know, have told you guys to do for like self-care and things like that, that helps you. You're sitting with the emotions and you're getting through it. And that helps you in the long run, because if you just become desensitized to it, then it will come back. Like, you might get rid of it for a little while, but it's going to come back. So you want to learn how to live with it rather than try to get over it. So that's what I was trying to say. But anyway.
Okay.
I was just trying to make her uncomfortable. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Lots of self-care. And see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.